Hey guys, Kev here, and I'm going to do my full review on the Ferum Forge Stinger. Boom! So, I have my Dock Street here. I'm enjoying a Friday night. Ordered some food on Grubhub. Got some burgers coming from the burger shop. And yeah, I just want to knock out a couple reviews before I eat and kind of wind it down. So guys, this is the Ferum Forge Stinger. And first off, I want to say a huge shout out and thank you to Jake Bearded Gear. He gifted me this knife for Valentine's Day. Kyle, Jake, and I are weirdos and we're brothers. And we talk all the time and we gift each other shit. So I sent them each a bit driver for Valentine's Day, basically. And it turns out the one I sent Jake kind of sucked. It looks cool and everything, but it came with bits that started at T10. Like, I literally emailed Urban EDC Supply and was like, dude, you have to list the bit size. It says it comes with 20 bits. You have to list the sizes if it's not going to come with T6 and T8. You're a freaking EDC company. Of course, a knife guy needs a T6 and an 8. Like, I was baffled by that. But anyway, it kind of sucks. But anyway, he gifted me this back because he absolutely loves the Stinger. It's a sub $100 knife because that was kind of the price point for what I got him. And I hadn't tried one yet because it's right-handed, and I just, I don't know. I didn't get one when they first came out, when everybody raved about it, because I had a mini Archbishop before, and I don't know. I didn't like that knife. The detent was too stiff. That'll come back later, watch. And it was just too small, and it cut the shit out of me one time. So I donated that to some kind of raffle charity thing that Kyle did for somebody. And that's actually how I basically met Kyle. I reached out to donate the mini Archbishop. So full circle here, guys. I met Kyle because of the mini Archbishop. And now Jake has Now Jake has gifted me a Stinger. Cool. I did add the Cerberus scales to this. So this is OD Green micarta on here. Awesome scales. If you saw the video on that, I had trouble getting it centered afterwards. And I found out the issue, the cutout for the pivot screw was not quite big enough. So I had to sort of like really shove the pivot screw into the scale there, and it kind of like popped in. And that's when I knew, like, oh, okay, now, and then I tightened it, and it was centered perfectly, and it's been good to go ever since. So, there's no blade play on here. I did have to Loctite it, because the pivot would walk, but action's good. It's just not drop shut. We'll get into that in action, but anyway, let's talk about the aesthetics and materials here. You have a Ferum Forge design. So basically, again, that means you have a drop point blade. You have a sort of straight handle. I guess this one's a little more rounded here. It does have this odd like hump right here. I don't know if you can pick that up, but it kind of just has a hump right there. Goes back here, has this kind of Strider-esque kind of flat back here that goes up a little bit. And then you have one long flat for your last three fingers, a choil here, and a choil here on the blade. This is rocking Nitro V steel, which is awesome. I love seeing that. It has a bead blasted blade and liners. And the clip is satin, I think. But it might be bead blast. It's hard to tell. You can see here, Nitro V steel. Awesome steel. There is no other markings on this knife other than you can see the Ferum Forge pivot, which is really cool. This is made by We Knives, aka I think it's more like the Sabibi section. That's just kind of how the build screams to me, Civivi. It does not have a reversible clip, sadly. That would have been really nice. But the one that is on here is inset into the scale, and then the screw is countersunk. So, like most companies now, they're catching on to that, and they're doing that. Again, centering is dead on nuts. Very, very good. I do have Gillian bearings in here, 5mm, 1/16 Gillian bearings. Yeah, so that's kind of your construction. Did I say OD Green, micarta, aftermarket scales? This came with green G10. You can see the back spacer. That's what the whole knife was, green G10. I'm so glad I bought these scales. It changes the knife completely, makes it more comfortable, just makes it a little more premium for me. I like micarta. I hate G10. So it was a big upgrade for me, even though it did cost $75. And the knife is about $85, $90. So you're basically buying another knife to put the scales on it. But that's a testament to this knife. It's that good that people want to spend twice the price to upgrade the scales, right? You wouldn't do that on a knife you didn't think was awesome, or at least worth more than what, the retail price is. So yeah, aesthetically, it's a Ferum Forge. I like it. It's got a very thin profile, thin blade stock, and it's just cool. I normally don't like bead blasted blades, but this is one that's very good. It reminds me of, where is that sucker? Come on, baby. Show yourself. Show yourself. Seriously. I can't give up. I can't give up. I gotta find it. Hang on. Where is this fucking thing? Oh, there it is. Hiding behind the scorpion. The, MTNT Mach 1. You see that bead blast on there? This one's Riot, but a Riot made. Sometimes it's done very well, and I like it. Other times I think it's kind of gross. But you will notice on this knife, they also bead blasted the clip and the hardware along with the liners. And I think that is a really nice touch. Whereas on this knife, the hardware is satin, and your clip, I'm pretty sure the clip's satin, guys, or stone. It does not look the same, but I don't know, maybe it is bead blast. But it would have been awesome if they had bead blasted everything like that Mach 1, right? I just think that would have looked better. But yeah, aesthetically, it's awesome. And with the micarta, it's freaking sexy. Ergonomically, so again, Ferum Forge, in this back grip, it's very comfortable. It's a thin knife, but it fits in my hand very well. I have a large glove-sized hand, and it has jimping up here on the blade, which is very usable. It's not too rough, and it's not too shallow. It's perfect. You have good control of this blade. It's good. Ergos are good there. Now, when you move up to this choil, it's awesome. So this choil is extremely comfortable. As opposed to the Mordax I reviewed earlier, it doesn't have this kind of hook in the flipper tab that the Mordax does. You see that hook right here? That is what digs into your finger and makes this choil very uncomfortable. This knife doesn't have that hook, so it's just extremely comfortable. You can kind of put some pressure back here on that flipper tab, and it's fine. You don't feel uncomfortable, and the edge isn't gonna it doesn't feel like it's right up on you, gonna get you. So I really like the choil. I really like the ergonomics, guys. Again, I'm not a reverse grip guy, but if you really wanted to do this, or even do this, pinky choil it, and do this, you could go to the gas station, get into a Friday night fight. That's my new joke. Bam! Get a Slurpee, get in a knife fight, go to the hospital, and you're good to go. I am such a dumbass. I'm sorry. Okay. Aesthetics and ergos are done. Carry. You have a deep carry clip. that goes pretty much all the way to the end of the knife. Again, countersunk everything. It's right hand only. That's really my only gripe with the carry. I carry this in my back left pocket. I say this all the time. Being left-handed, it's nice because right-handed knives sit like this, so they're against the seam in my back pocket. And when I take them out, it's perfect. It really is. And I won't carry something like this in my front left because of this flipper tab. And another thing I'll get into in action is the detent sucks. So it could easily come out and I would end up with a pair of scissors in my pocket. And that's why I carry in my back left, because it's basically like carrying right-handed, right? Yeah, so that's carry. It's good, just not a reversible clip. Oh, and this clip is awesome. This is one of my favorite clips ever. I loved it on the Mini Archbishop, too. It's just thin and small. It's a pen clip, guys. I love that. You don't need to have this huge freaking clip on your knife. Like even the knife I'm carrying today, right? I'm carrying this Evo 2.0, which I absolutely love. I adore this knife. And I actually think it carries very well, even though it sticks out like a freaking sore thumb. Look at this clip. It's fucking obnoxious. It's huge. And it like gets bigger as it goes down. It's a design knife, right? I mean, clip. The clip is there to look cool, too. This is just so functional and small and thin and tucks away. I love it. All right. Cutting. This thing is phenomenal, guys. I cannot speak any more highly of a knife than this. It's a laser beam. It's super thin with a full flat or a flat grind. Comes down to a razor edge. It's got to be like 13 or 14 thousandths behind the edge. Get some paper here for you. I mean, it's just ridiculous. That's me, sorry. My God, you idiot. I don't know. Maybe there's something going on there. Hang on. Yeah, there might be like a chip. Doesn't look like it. Oh. I don't know. Maybe there's a small chip or something. Hang on. See if that helps. There we go. So there was just something going on there. I don't know if a little burr was sticking off from when I don't know what. But anyway, 2 seconds on that leather strop and it was freaking right back to laser beaming. Yeah, it's just a really good cutter, guys. I'm sure it'll shave my hair if I try. It'll shave my hair. So just really, really good, guys. I love the cutting on this. So let's get into action, okay? Well, first let's do sounds, all right? All right, so it has a good opening deployment sound. Like it kind of just cracks out with a lock when it locks up. I think that sounds good. It's not like mind-blowing or anything. It doesn't really have much on the close. Again, adding micarta scales is going to kind of dull every sound you have. So it's not a great acoustic knife, but it's okay. It's not like terrible or anything. So that sounds action. So this is an interesting one. This knife has this fuller, right? Everybody loves this knife because you can Spidey flick it. And I like to Spidey flick this knife. But the D10 is light, guys. I mean, it is really light. To the point where it kind of sucks, honestly. It's not even, like, funny how light it is. Okay? Now, with that said, I can easily flip it out, and it locks up. It has good jimping on there on the tab. And I think they left it light because of the middle finger flick. They want people to be able to do that easily. And I think there's this, I don't know why, there's this thing out there with knife companies where they think having a fuller means it needs, or a middle, like having a deployment hole, slot, whatever, means you should have a light detent because they assume that people are going to want to do this. They assume that you're going to want to slow roll it out. And if we have a strong detent on there, then it's not going to work. You're going to try to get it out and you're either not gonna, or it's going to like pop out halfway and you're going to like cut yourself or something. For example, another knife made by Civivi is the Riffle. On this one, they got the detent absolutely perfect. If you try to thumb roll it, you can, no problem. And you know why? Because it has a little bit of grip right here. So you can grab that and just pull it out. At the same time, the flipper tab, it freaking shoots out. Break, boom. Break, boom. And then the middle finger flick. Oh my God. This is the best middle finger flicker I've ever felt from Civivi. Like, seriously, it is really, really good on the Riffle. But on this knife, they went with a super light detent. Go to the break. It's like, it's terrible. I don't know. I think it's because of the fuller. They thought that it should be lighter to do the flick. But you can have a strong detent and flick a knife. It's better that way. Because the way I like to flick a knife is I do the thing where I build up pressure and then I do the pressure, flip, right? And on this knife, that's what happens. It kind of just comes out a little bit because the detent's so weak. Now, with all that said, people love this knife. And I actually really like this knife. And it's because you can get used to anything, right? So, now that I know the detent is light, sorry, I'm an idiot. I just flick it. I don't do any of that pressure shit. I just put my finger in there and flick it out. And it freaking flies out. I mean, it is fantastic with the middle finger flick, as long as you don't try to do the pressure thing, right? With the flipper tab, it's kind of weak, guys. I fail it a lot. So I kind of don't even do it anymore. And if I do, I really just hammer it down. I give it a Dirk warning and just like, bam, I love that. Bam! Like, that's how you do the flick on this one. But the middle finger, boom, flies out. You just got to go for it. Don't ease your way into it like I like to do, right? So that's the opening. The closing, yeah, it's not very good. It's smooth as all get out, especially with these bearings in here. But it is not like a dropper. You can get it to drop a little bit better than this, but then you're going to have blade play. I have absolutely no play in here. So I do this. I let it fall, and then I just give it one big slam. Or I do it left-handed, get it to here, one big slam, or just give it a couple of shaky shakes. So it's not drop shot at all, but whatever. All right, so we talked about ergos, we talked about sounds, we talked about aesthetics, we talked about action, we talked about carry, and we talked about cutting. Damn. So what do we have left? Value and recommendations. This is a value, guys. $90, let's call it, for Nitro V, which, by the way, is one of my favorite steels. I had a paring knife, custom made by Pearson Custom Knives. Check out Ryan Pearson, guys. He's amazing, okay? He made this, like, 4-inch paring knife, kind of, like, mixed with a Santoku, like, Japanese knife, for my wife, for her 30th last year. And he used Nitro V. And I knew nothing about it before then. He said, this is a good steel, especially for kitchen blades, because it holds a really good edge, doesn't corrode, and it's strong enough. And I was like, all right, I'll give it a shot, whatever. And dudes, That thing is so good. Now, of course, he treated it well, and he ground it very well. It's super thin, but still, it's like 8 thousandths behind the edge. But I have literally stropped it twice in 9 months. She uses it every day, every fucking day, and it is still a laser beam. That Nitro V is incredible, and I've had the same experience with this. Now, I don't use my knives that I have for review that much that I'm going to really tell edge retention, but if you put a relatively thin edge on Nitro V, it's going to last a life, not a life, it's going to last a long time, all right? I think it's a very underused, underrated steel. I know it's pretty new, so that's part of it, but now we're starting to see it, and I hope that continues, because I will put Nitro V head-to-head with S35VN any day and choose Nitro V. You know, I'm not going to try to put it up next to M390. It doesn't have that type of edge retention. But it is so good, guys. I wouldn't care if I got a $400 knife and it had Nitro V on it. I would not bat an eye and be like, oh my God, but it has Nitro V. Like, it's that good to me, personally. I love it. So, that is a shining feature of this knife. That it has Nitro V. It was one of the first to come out with it. I think the Drop Perpetua had it too, but those are the only two knives I know of with Nitro V. Absolutely love Nitro V. So anyway, $90 for an excellent design, an excellent cutter. Action for the middle finger flick, I'll say, is really good. Once you get used to that detent, the flipper sucks. Ergos are fantastic. All of it. This is a steal, guys, for $90. And you can double it and get scales, and it's even better, right? So value, yes. Recommendations. All right, I'm going to wrap this up. Sorry. Right-handers, yes, all day, every day, twice on Sunday. Buy this knife. Excuse me. It's one of the best budget knives out there. Lefties. Same thing I said about the Mordax. If you're okay carrying with a righty clip only, right, then yes, this is absolutely a great knife to get. I can fully recommend it to a lefty that doesn't mind the clip. The flick works great. You don't need to rely on the clip or anything to do it. And then your finger just lands in this choil. And honestly, as a lefty, I like it better sometimes that the clip is over here, because you don't have it digging into your palm. You just kind of have it in your finger a little bit. It's not uncomfortable at all. So, yeah, I can recommend it to lefties. So, I absolutely love this knife. I think it's awesome. It was a gift, so it helps a lot. But I think on its own, it stands up. I just wish the detent was a little stronger. That would really have made this knife perfect for me. Well, the reversible clip, but yeah, those two things aside, I really think this was a home run from Ferum Forge. And yeah, so that is my review of the Ferum Forge Stinger. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I will catch you later.